And this should have just one long room with no real difference from the outside and the inside in terms of size. But as you look again, you realize that somebody has created more subdivisions inside with sliding doors. So there's
Okay,
actually
so
some
there's
subdivision.
nothing wrong with the dimensions. It's
Yes, there's something quite wrong with the dimensions.
Mm.
There's no way that multiple walls and corridors with sliding doors could possibly fit into the space that I just described for you.
It's bigger inside.
It's a TARDIS.
all right.
And she says, if you don't mind eating some strange meat, I have dumplings and rice for you. She says, they bring it to me, and I am afraid there is not really much natural to be had on the mountain. But she says, but it's fine once you cook it a lot.
Thank you for your kindly offer, but I don't eat meat.
Mm.
I don't
Not,
eat
not
strange
really.
meat. Strange in what way, may I?
I think she sniffs, she lifts up and sniffs and says, I think this is kametake. And kametake are these weasels, these weird monster weasels that whip through the air in big circles and spin around. And they are mischievous and little wicked little spirits, but they're not really too evil. But you have to look out, because if they whip past you, they will cut you with the speed of their spinning.
Have I eaten a lot of those before?
No, it is not ordinary
It's
eating.
not.
It's a little bit like telling you that somebody says, I'm going to serve you some, I'm going
Ghosts.
to, yeah, I'll serve you some goblin meat or something like that, So,
Yeah.
so she says, well, let me look, and she pokes around and says, well, the rice is ready, and so you can have some rice if you want.
Is it a strange kind of rice also?
No, the rice looks like rice.
Or, yeah. Can I ask you, what's your name?
I was a lady of Hara, which is the same family that the samurai said back in the village. Because I was a lady of the Hara long ago. She says, she makes herself comfortable and starts to serve herself, and has already indicated that you can serve yourselves, even though at least two of you are still kind of in combat ready stance. But that's fine. And so she begins to put the rice down in a bowl and to ladle some of the broth and meat next to it, and you can see that even though she is this old simple woman, that some habits never change, and she is using her chopsticks, which are barely any more than just pieces of wood, but she is using them in a way that a peasant basically puts the bowl up to his face and goes with the chopsticks, but a noble, picks up a piece at the very, very, very end. And so she's doing that. She says, we say that we respect our elders, even worship and revere them. But it's also true that in the deep winters or during hard times, the old cannot work, and their opinions can become unwelcome. Maybe one day you too will be sitting in the coldest room in the house. Or maybe you too one day will be taken up on the mountainside and forgotten there. Maybe that will happen to you as well. It could happen to anyone, even a noble lady. And she takes another bite and eats it politely and says, some, like me, fall victim to their own hate and their own sorrow. I have not, and I try to remember them. I try to pray for their souls. They bring me food. They will not attack. You are welcome to sleep here. And she says,
who's they?
Yamauba. It literally means mountain hag.
And okay.
And she smiles a little bit and says, you will be comfortable here. There is plenty of room.
I think I'm sitting down and actually taking a bowl of rice now.
Mm-hmm.
This seems completely harmless to my routine.
I'm looking around. Can I open
Sure.
the doors and people can still see me? So I can open and look inside.
You can look inside. Are you going to go walking around?
I see my character like walking around, looking around the place, and then you said the sliding doors, opening the door and making sure that people looking inside there, but making sure people can see him so he doesn't go too far away.
I see. Yes, that's fine. You will be walking around. You cover a lot more distance even more than you thought when you walked over to them. Now, you're going to be busy wandering up and down, around for a little while. You might even be a little bit confused and say, okay, I've started on the left and I worked my way one door by one door. And then you turn around and there's another one that you haven't been through before, that you thought you were just there. So I know you have not gone through them and away from the group. I am just talking, it's realizing that you are a little bit not fully oriented toward just which way all of these doors actually go, after all. In fact, now that you are thinking about it, you're pretty sure that's the front door right there. It looks like the front door.
I look if it is the front door. Is it the front door?
It looks just like the front door that you came in, and it's in the right spot.
But when I open it...
Would you like to open it?
I would like to open it.
Okay. So you open the front door, and yes, you are looking out the front of the building, and the woman says, you don't want to let anything in,
Just let us in.
Then I close the door, and I ask her if there's something we should know or something that might come.
She says, I call them my sisters. I hope that doesn't disturb you. They will come when they want, and they will stay around when they want. I don't think you should talk to them. They are very, very, they have become bitter and might resent anyone. And their tastes in flesh are are now much less refined than they were. So
And
I recommend that you stay safe in here. But they
Do
care
you
for
need
me. But they care for me. So please be comfortable.
Do we need to hide or just ignore them?
No, they stay outside.
Okay.
I'm trying to eat some of the meat, and
There's nothing too strange. It tastes strange, but it is not poisonous or terrible or anything like that. You just haven't had anything like it. It certainly isn't human, which is, I suppose, perhaps the first thing on anyone's mind, but it's not.
Mm.
And it is, it's clearly from some kind of weasel.
all right, I think that would do. So I'm kind of, while I'm eating, not being impolite, but I try to be straightforward with her.
Before
And
you speak, can
Yeah.
I get a quick visual idea of what Kisaragi and Itosama are doing?
I'm close to the fireplace and probably close to her. I'm not eating of her food, but I didn't pick up any of my own so far.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually, if a certain somebody wouldn't talk so much, I would probably try to talk to her. But as it is,
Right.
I'm just kind of observing,
Okay.
staying close, and
We will
I
deal. Go
will
ahead.
I will sit down just because it's polite, but I'm trying to do it in a way that I can get up and ready
Well,
for a fight if necessary as
all
fast
of
as
your
possible.
characters are extremely familiar with the classic kneeling position in which your toes are still on the ground.
Yes,
And all
that's what I'm thinking about.
all of you are perfectly athletically capable of moving into a standing combat stance with a very simple motion from that position. All of you are perfectly capable of sitting there with a sheath, with your sword in its scabbard, with your hands on your knees in that position, and then within 1 second you have completed a sword strike. All of you are capable of that. So,
You got me.
right.
You got me
Mhm.
exactly.
Okay. So, Nathan, how about you?
I will ask her if she minds if I'm playing music,
Ooh.
and
Mhm.
I will grab while she's replying. I will grab a bowl of rice. I think.
Okay, you realize you cannot play your flute and eat rice at the same time.
No, I'm
It's not that
yes.
enchanted.
I'm taking a bowl. I'm not eating it. I'm just
I see.
taking a
Okay.
bowl and asking
Good.
if I can play
Perfect.
music.
Okay. She then says, "That's a beautiful flute. Yes, it would be wonderful to hear some music. How does?" And she forgives me because it's a. She says, "Forgive me because this is a very rude word." She says, "How is it that a Ronin plays such such a refined instrument?"
I'm just going to reply that I have not been a Ronin all my life, and I will just stay at this line
Ah.
and start playing.
Okay.
She's on my.
Okay.
Is it a rude question?
What she
Do we
asked? The word
yeah.
Ronin is derogatory.
Okay, so
Yeah.
so just in assuming that we are Ronins
There's no assuming. It's grossly obvious
Okay.
from any glance
Okay.
at you. But so
What?
she's facing facts and she has no better word. That's what.
Okay.
Okay.
So the offending part was not playing the flute; it
No.
was being a Ronin.
Yes.
All right.
Actually, can I slightly rephrase what I say?
Yeah. Sure. Please.
I will just say instead that to become a Ronin, you need to be a samurai first.
Yes.
And I will,
Okay.
yeah.
Interesting. Okay.